Do not give up gross to people on the phone. I see this every day, guys. We need to slow down and realize the customer is calling you for a reason. If a customer calls in on a car, you just ripped a hot phone pop, they want to ask if a car is available. They are doing that because they don't want to waste their time and because they're really excited about this car. It probably checks all the boxes for them based on what they've seen online, and they probably want to buy it. Phone pops have one of the highest closing percentages, and yet we give away so much gross for no reason. When a customer says, hey, I'm interested in this car, however, you're gonna have to do better on price, it's really easy. Just like when you're out on the lot. Talk to the customer the same. They're here for a reason. The internet exists, right? Now, hopefully, you do a little bit of fact finding when you're talking to the customer and you figure out where they're located. I promise you, if the customer is not local, if they live 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, 20 hours away, you have a good price. They would not be calling you if there was a better deal closer. They would have already bought that one. So slow down and don't be afraid to have these difficult conversations with the customer because they're not even difficult. The customer is trained to ask for a discount. Don't train yourself to give it to them. Slow down a little bit and just tell them, hey, Mr. Customer, we actually price everything aggressive to the market. You're calling from Denver. I'm over here in Lewiston, Idaho. I'd imagine that if I didn't have an attractive price on my vehicle, we probably wouldn't even have this conversation right now, because you probably would have called somebody a little bit closer. That being said, I'd love to put figures together for you and show you what it would look like to take this home. Are you planning on paying cash or financing the vehicle? Right? So we're not going to give them a discount. We're not even going to open that door. Don't even say like, oh, I'll see what I can do, Mr. Customer. No! You're a one-price store to everybody who calls the dealership that doesn't live locally. I don't care if you're not. I don't care if you average $1,000 or $2,000 discount. Figure out where the customer is calling from early in the call, because the first thing you should have done on that phone call is try to set the appointment. And they would have told you, oh, I can't come in, I'm in Denver. Oh, I can't come in, I'm in Baltimore, right? Oh, so you live really far away and you're calling on my car. Well, let me think about that. If there was a better deal closer, don't you think they would have bought it? So they're calling you because either A, you have a great price, B, you have a configuration they can't find anywhere else, or C, you have a freaking unicorn. Like a 2010 with 60,000 miles on it that's absolutely mint. Or maybe it's a limited production car that they can't find anywhere else. Same thing even applies to new cars. If somebody is calling your dealership, let's say you work at Toyota and they're calling to ask on the availability of a 2026 RAV4 that you can't get right now. Hey, Mr. Customer, I completely understand wanting to get the best deal. That being said, I don't have any of these on my lot right now, so my manager isn't discounting them. But the good news for you is that we're also not marking them up above MSRP like a lot of the Metro dealers are. So we don't have any dealer ads. We're not marking it up above MSRP. It's a very easy transaction for you, Mr. Customer, because you know you're getting a good deal and not paying over sticker. Now, obviously, that's if you don't have dealer ads and if you're not charging over MSRP. It's a different conversation if you are. Hey, Mr. Customer, these are actually nearly impossible to get right now, and that's why there is a market adjustment on the vehicle of $3,000, right? You need to explain that to the customer rather than immediately going to, oh, let me see what I can do. Let me go talk to my manager. Because as soon as you do that, again, you're training the customer to expect a discount. And when you come back, he said no. I'm sorry, Mr. Customer, I tried. And he said no, and I want to sell you this car really bad, but he said no. No. Don't even open that door. Set the expectation for the customer, and I promise you, you're not going to lose them. But you do need to use a little bit of tact. You have to say it properly. You have to articulate your words, and you need to not be an asshole. Because if you're just like, nah, man, that ain't going to happen, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you explain to them the why behind it, hey, Mr. Customer, I completely respect wanting to make sure you're getting the best deal. That being said, here's how the pricing works here. We're a one-price store, and ultimately, I would love to prove to you that you're getting a great deal and show you what it looks like to take this home, whether it be cash or financing. You just tell me what works best for you, and I can make it happen. I'm going to make this one of the smoothest, easiest car buying experiences that you've ever had. And ultimately, even though you don't live close, I hope that you tell your friends about it so that maybe they consider doing business with us as well, right? Slow down, take a breath, articulate your words properly, and never, ever, 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 ever crack the door for a discount. Because as soon as you open that door, you are not selling it at full price, regardless of what your manager says. Let me go talk to my manager and see what I can do. As soon as you say that, Customer's gonna be pissed off if you come back and don't offer them something. So even if your manager really does say no, even if you work at a one price store and they're like, I don't even know why you told the customer you would talk to me because there's no chance I'm discounting this car. You already cracked that door open and now you are going to lose that customer if you don't nip it in the bud by defending your price, having a value add statement, and telling them that you would just love to show them what it looks like to take this home. But it is going to be at that price. If you do it properly, if you present yourself as a true professional, and you have a lot of value built into the closing statement when you go to tell them that you would love to show them what it looks like to take it home with cash or financing, I promise you, you are not going to upset the customer and you are going to sell more cars, especially when it comes to out-of-market customers. Now, if it's a local customer, it's really simple. Hey guys, I really appreciate you calling in and wanting to make sure this vehicle is available. Before we get to price, I would love to show you this in person because the last thing I want to do is have everything worked out, show you what it looks like to take this home, whether it be cash or financing, get you all excited on a number, and then you get here and you realize you hate this car. So we are open 7 days a week. We're open until 7 o'clock on weekdays, 6 o'clock on Saturday, 5:30 on Sunday. What time works best for you to be able to come down? Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure this is the right car for you rather than just the right price for you, because the right price for you doesn't make you happy after the sale. It might make you happy at the sale, but it doesn't make you happy after the sale. The right car will make you happy after the sale. And I want you happy after the sale, Mr. Customer, because ultimately that's what's going to get you to come back to me in the future. How's that sound? Right? We want to get off talking about price and we want to start focusing on building value and showing the customer that we have their best interest at heart, which is making sure this is the right vehicle, especially if they're local. If they're out of market, it's all about numbers because they've already decided it's the right vehicle. And an additional value add that you should be offering to the customer is, hey, Mr. Customer, also, one of the things that I like to offer every out-of-market buyer is I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna give you a detailed walk-around video of the vehicle. I'm gonna highlight all the imperfections on it. I'm gonna give a good smell check, make sure it doesn't smell like wet dog or smell like cigarette smoke. And if it does, I'll let you know and see if we can do anything about that. But I wanna make sure that you know as much about this vehicle as possible before we ever worry about agreeing to numbers. Because at the end of the day, if the condition isn't what you're expecting, and if it smells, or if there's something wrong with the vehicle, which there's not going to be anything wrong with the vehicle. We run a tight ship here with reconditioning process. But if there's something that's not to your liking, regardless of the price, I'm confident you wouldn't be buying it anyways. How's that sound? Value add statements, professionalism, and avoiding ever cracking that door open for price is going to help you sell more cars and make more money. We want to be a phone ninja, a phone warrior. We don't want to be an order taker. Order takers, they give everything away and ultimately they make small paychecks. True professionals maximize every opportunity, which ultimately maximizes the gross. And that's what pays your bills. So let's make sure that we're being professionals. Thanks, guys.